My name is Mr. Alex. I'm one of the Young Learners Specialists here at EF. I've been working for EF for about 5 years. Today I want to talk about two kind of common problems that we're seeing with students. The first problem is something that's slightly more older. It's a concept known as a false beginner. What a false beginner is a student who knows a lot about English, however they lack the confidence to use it properly. Most commonly, it's your shy students, where they can read, they can write, they can even listen, but their lack of confidence stops them from producing English, especially while speaking. The other problem, which is becoming more and more common these days, is known as a false intermediate. What a false intermediate is a student who believes their English is actually better than it really is. This comes from the advent of a lot more of our students watching American movies, playing American video games, watching YouTube more. So these students have very good listening and speaking skills. However, their grammar, their reading, and writing are exceptionally poor. This is poses a problem because a lot of parents think that their students or their children are more fluent than they actually are. And when it comes time to do more in-depth things like a writing assessment or even more kind of formalized speaking, they notice that their students or their children are actually lacking. This kind of poses a problem for teachers today because false intermediates are notoriously hard to change. They develop bad habits, and it's very difficult to change these habits, mostly because the student may, in his mind, think that he can communicate clearly, and indeed, most people can understand what they're saying, but when it actually comes time to produce more high-level grammar, they struggle a lot more. So this comes from a lot of what we call YouTube English. A lot of students that spend most of their lives listening to people on YouTube celebrities, Instagram stars. And one of the things is it's very hard to teach them because they're very resistant to change. We will tell a student, like, what you said is actually grammatically incorrect. And students will say, well, why do I need to learn the correct grammar? Because you still understood what I said. Which may be true, but this can actually hurt them in the long run. And I think just focusing on proper grammar, proper sentence structure will help a lot. For parents, they should really understand that just speaking competently is not enough these days. You also have to speak accurately. And I think more focus on grammar. For example, we have our Grammar Pro app that's coming out soon, which I think will help a lot in that respect. And for parents, just realizing that there are different levels of fluency. And just because your student is fluent in one area does not necessarily mean they're fluent in other areas.